Hey guys, welcome back to Galaxy of Film. I'm Haylene Rodriguez and I'm here with Bryce Pinkham.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing some interviews of Bryce. Okay, well Bryce, first of all, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. How was your flight? How was that?
I was just fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
short trip from New York for me, so
Oh,
lovely.
yeah, that's right, you're in New York. So Bryce, I don't know if you remember, I met you at Anime in January
Yes.
this year. And we had that like very nice touching conversation with the 13-year-old that like
Yes.
was talking about his career and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have to talk to you again. You were so lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sweetheart. Okay, well, let's see. First one. I realized that I was doing a little bit of Wikipedia,
Uh-huh.
and I see that you do was it a nonprofit? Could you please tell me more about that? Because there's not much information from what I've seen.
Yeah, so I co-founded a not-for-profit with a friend in Madagascar. It's called Zara Aina, which is a Malagasy expression, which means share life. It was born out of a trip that we took where we met some kids and felt that we wanted to help them. And, you know, we're theater makers, and so we said, well, what do we have at our disposal other than theater making?
Yeah.
Not much. So we thought, well, let's see what we can do to use theater as a tool of self-expression, self-confidence building, and more importantly, as a motivation for these kids to stay in school. In Madagascar, there's a 50% dropout rate before the end of middle school. So it is a huge problem in a massively impoverished country, and we sort of found ourselves in a position to help and couldn't help ourselves trying to do that. Since then, I've started a family of my own, so I don't have time to be inside the day-to-day of running the organization. So I've earned my founder emeritus status with it, but I still support it. I still stay up on what they're doing. And, you know, 10 years later, we've built a center in the capital of Madagascar, and our kids go there every day for theater making and tutoring and meals and camaraderie and mentorship. And, you know, I always tell young people, like, you kind of got to go before you know, which is
Yeah.
what we did with that project. We just kind of went and built a show with a group of kids who were game, and then we went back the next year and did the same. And 10 years later, we have the whole program run by an all Malagasy staff, and
Hi.
we just raise money. So anybody who
Wow.
wants to give me a gift can
Yeah.
give a gift to zaraaina.org.
Yeah, let's
Um,
plug it.
zaraaina.org. ZARAAINA.org.
Beautiful. That was amazing. No, I saw that and I was like, wow, that's one of the few people that I see that actually take action towards something. And like, I'm Dominican, so like something like that. And I see kids as well that want to do things that they can't because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing, especially in like third world countries, if you will. So that's awesome. So going into that, I wanted to ask, since you have such a long line of amazing stuff that you've done, oh my God, I've seen your work, I love it. But if you could go back in time to speak to your younger self with the lessons that you have today, what would you say to that person?
Well, probably some of the stuff I just, said about not making it about you and not getting too full of yourself. I have a joke I always say, when I'm in a cab or something and with other actors and somebody cuts us off, I'll say, do you have any idea who we thought we'd be by now? And that's a joke, but it's also like, I think my younger self maybe was just a little too unrealistic. And once I got into a more realistic headspace of like, I'm lucky if I can make a living as an actor. There's a lot of people who want to be actors who can't even make a living doing it. And once I realized how lucky I was to be in a position to do that, it's just made my life and my mental health much better.
Right.
Feeling comfortable with where I am and, here doing these conventions with this character, meeting fans all day. And, anyone who complains about doing that has got it twisted. Like, this is such a lucky position to be in. So I would remind my younger self to lead with gratitude and kindness and empathy. And I still remind my older self to do those things. So it's never something you master. It's just always something you continue to try and practice.
Correct. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Oh my
talk a lot.
God. No. I love that. It's an actual conversation. Oh man. Yeah. So your schooling. You did schooling in Boston College and Yale.
Yeah.
So was it always the plan to be an actor or?
I think a lot of people around me knew that I was going to do it like before I had decided to do it. Like growing up, I was always in plays and musicals and talent shows, but I was doing it because it was fun and because I had a natural need to perform, but also disappear into a character. I think performers fall into several categories, but two of the main ones are the need to be seen and the need to disappear. And I think mine was more of a need to disappear. Not in a traumatic way, just in a I like to be somebody else. I like to, hide behind a character. And so I was always doing that for fun. And then I got to college at Boston College, and I wanted to do lots of things. And the theater was just one of the things that I wanted to do. And I ended up having such a good time there that I came to a place halfway through my school journey where I kind of felt I'll regret it if I don't try and do this for my living. And then I auditioned for grad schools, and I got into the Yale School of Drama, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? Not go to Yale? And so then I did 3 years there, and so that was effectively about 5 years of taking myself seriously as an actor in training. So I promised myself 5 years on the other side of graduating to try and start a career. And, again, said with gratitude and humility, and 5 years later, I was nominated for a Tony Award in a Tony Award winning musical. And I felt okay, well, I'm glad I gave myself 5 years to get here.
Yeah.
And I still, like many actors do, I still want to do other things. I still question how long I can keep it up. But I think it's always something that I'll have a desire to be performative and disappearing into some character, some story somehow.
Do you have a favorite that you disappear into the most that you love?
Well, currently I love disappearing into Stolas. People come up to my table and they, they hear me talking in my normal voice, and then I'll say their name in the voice of Stolas, and I just love seeing the grins and the laughs and the excitement at that transformation, if you will.
Yes.
And that's part of the fun of what we do. Is part of the reward of being here in these environments is seeing the joy that we can give to people with those little gifts and the character and the story as well. It's so meaningful to people, and that's very fulfilling to me. So I always imagine wanting to get that feeling,
I guess the last thing,
Yeah.
circle back, just like the advice that you gave to the kid that we met in Animate.
Yeah.
Could you give the audience a little bit of tidbit of advice for people that are trying to go into this career as well?
Yeah, I always tell people two things. I say there are two words that I use as sort of pillars of guidance for anyone trying to do anything hard, but particularly anything in this career. I say patience and persistence. And what I mean by that is patience, because nothing happens overnight. I'm standing behind this table after 20-something years of trying to be an actor. And persistence, because nobody asked me to do it and nobody showed me the way. I knocked on the doors myself, and when a door opens, I walk through it with courage and generosity and an attempt to be unafraid of failure. So patience and persistence, when used in equal measure, can be very powerful. If you're too patient, no one's going to ask you to do it.
Correct.
And if you're too persistent and you don't give yourself enough time, you're going to burn out, or you're going to feel frustrated, or you're going to feel like I suck. That's not the case. Anything you want to do in life that's hard, it's going to take time and it's going to take effort. So those two things combined can be really powerful, like salt and pepper for your career.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Bryce, for your time.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
See you in hell.
You can find all our other podcast, original films, articles, and music on our website, galaxyofilm.com. We're also on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and you can join our Patreon for exclusive content and our Facebook fan club for early access to our films.